Everybody. I'm back with my next video, and today I'm going to be talking about these creatures here. Rats. So over the past couple of videos I've told you what type of person to be a pest controller and what we need to learn about being a pest controller. Then you're ready to go out in the field. And one of the ones that people panic when they get is obviously rats. Nobody likes rats on the premises. I think it's very understandable. The problem is with rats, they spread disease like Weil's disease, and there's still people contact Weil's disease or leptospirosis out there. Farmers, golfers, and even pest controllers are all top of the list. So peach tip, if you cut your hand near a riverbank or you're out golfing, make sure that you put a plaster on. And that's all the medical advice I can give you as a pest controller. So when people call us, they're usually distressed. I've heard people crying, etc. But they'll come in for shelter in the winter, and if they can get hold of it, they'll get food. One of the things that I've noticed over the past few years, we're getting called out for. Rats love to go underneath patio decking. Yeah, so consider that when you get some decking in. So let's look at the rat themselves, right? We basically, there's two types of rat. Now, I don't think I've ever dealt with the black rat, Rattus rattus, usually involved with ships, but I do believe there are some of them in different parts of the country. But they're really associated with ships, or Rattus rattus. The ones that we deal with are this ones. Just bring it on the screen. There you go. I'm so glad I bought that taxidermy rat. It's come in very handy. So there you go. How do you like him walking about your factory or your house during the night, biting through wires, causing fires, biting through plumbing, causing damage, and that's what they do. Yeah, and then obviously you can pick up Weil's disease as well. Now, believe it or not, it's not law to have pest control in a food premises. Not law, but if you don't do something and anything happens, you can be prosecuted under the Food Safety Act 1990, due diligence defence. Okay? And were you really looking after the premises to stop further invasion of rats or just monitoring for them? If you're the type of business that doesn't worry about it and just carries on, well, you might come to a sticky end because the fines are drastic. So it is advisable to have an experienced pest control business look after it. Even in factories that don't have food, then this would help you under the Health and Safety at Work Act, where you're really looking after your employees' welfare. And I have known places I've went to where rats are allowed to run about, and someone could pick up Weil's disease. So that's just a little bit of scenario. So what we've got to do, remember my Bible's sitting next to me, and we can look at that to look at the problems. One of the things with rat is they do 40 droppings a day. Yeah, little thing here, 40 droppings a day. Make sure you've no nuts lying about, because you could be eating nuts and raisins. And the other thing about them is, I'll just show you this picture here. I'll take this one. They've actually got incisor teeth. So there you go, that's their teeth. And they interlock and they've got to keep gnawing. That's why the reason they gnaw is that they're actually grinding their teeth down, but at the same time, they're actually biting through wires, etc., causing a lot of damage. The amount of burst pipes that I've had with rats biting through them in some places, unbelievable. Ask any electrician you know, ask any plumber that you know about the rats. Now, one of the problems we have with rats is they're actually neophobic. Now, to show you how relaxed I am, this is real Pete. I'm having my coffee at the same time. Yeah, so neophobia. And neophobia is fear of new objects, and they get used to their ways. Now, if you look at the picture, you will see the hairs coming out, and that's called their vibrissae. Okay, and they use that to go around feeling things. So if they've been running freely and they go across a wall every day, and then all of a sudden you put a trap down or a bait box down for them, they're maybe not going to need it for a while, because if they're neophobic, they're not sure of what it is. They're very, very intelligent creatures. So that's one of the problems there. Now, the thing is with the rat is that it requires approximately 60 millilitres of water a day. A rat needs water every day, and it eats approximately 30 grams of food a day, but it needs the water. So don't leave any pools of water lying about in a factory or wherever, you know. And they're not nice creatures to have around. They can actually live in freezing conditions, and they can actually live in a freezer. And I have seen it myself. They've went in a freezer unit, a big freezer, an industrial freezer, and they've actually made a hole within the cavity in there, and the tails can drop off with frostbite, seemingly. So a very adaptable creature, and they will take advantage of anything that you leave for them. So that's just to give you an insight of what we're dealing with, the rat. I won't go into too much detail with it today. What I want to do is keep these videos short. In my next video, I'm going to tell you how we deal with them, give you an idea of what we're up against. And there's various techniques that we can do to dispose of Mr. Ratty. So again, if you have any comments, please put them in. I'll try and answer for them. And I will see you in my next video. Take care.